and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan, and today I'm just going to be taking you along for a little bit different of a view of a day in the life. Now, typically I have done like morning routines or what it looks like in our homeschool or just a day in the life vlog style. But today I'm hoping to show you kind of just a little bit more of what I do during the day on the side of homemaking. So while some homeschooling will still be involved in this video, the main focus is going to be on the homemaking side of things and just showing you what a typical Wednesday looks like in our home on my side of everything. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if you are new here, I would love if you would push that subscribe button down below. I do things like, well, I do homeschool, but I do a lot of homemaking content, recipes, gardening, canning, just kind of life in general as a large family, because I am a large family mom of 6 kids. So I would love to have you on the channel, so push that subscribe button down below, and I hope you'll join on future videos. So I'm just starting the day by finishing off a loaf of sourdough bread. Well, finishing it up for proofing and getting in the oven. So typically when I make a loaf of sourdough, I will let it proof overnight for a good like 8 to 10-ish hours. And then it's ready for me to go ahead and do the last little bit of work on it before I pop it in the oven. And then we'll have delicious fresh bread for either lunch or dinner. And so that's just typically how I do my bread. If you're interested in any kind of like sourdough stuff, I have done a couple of videos on sourdough. One is just how to make a simple sourdough. The other is actually a simple sourdough bread recipe. So if you want to check those out, I will put that down in the description below. Okay, confession time here. A little transparency, and something about myself is that I actually am not the greatest housekeeper in the world. That is for sure. In fact, I can be a little scatterbrained in that area, although I do thrive under clean conditions and not a lot of clutter. However, it's just really hard for me, having just a very ADD brain, to be able to execute that consistently. And so I'm just trying to stay consistent with making sure that I do something as simple as clean the dishes after each time that I cook or use them, so that they don't end up piling up until the dishwasher's empty. And so I have been reading some Dana K. White books, which I highly recommend, especially if you are a little scatterbrained like me with this kind of stuff. But it has helped give me encouragement and give just really practical tips. The homeschooling mess is going on. The mess that we make when we homeschool, right, Tanner? He's working on his grammar. Marcus is done with all of his independent stuff. And Sophia almost is. Asher almost is. Did you hurt your foot?
Yes.
Because you keep dancing?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yes.
Without the proper shoes on?
Yes.
And you might have to sit out during dance today.
Maybe.
Yeah, but you're still going to go to watch, regardless.
Can I at least do the warm-ups?
I don't know. You'll have to ask.
Okay.
Little stinker. Always dancing. She's wearing her little house in the prairie nightgown. Are you Laura? Laura or Mary? Who's your favorite?
My favorite.
Nellie. That's your favorite.
No.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite is all of them.
All of them?
Yes.
Oh.
I like Laura. She's my favorite.
Yeah. Who's your favorite, Tanner?
Mr. Edwards.
Do your Mr. Edwards voice.
I can't. Hey, Laura.
Edwards. So Marcus is finishing his chore. The other kids have done theirs, but he couldn't do it earlier because his is like to make sure that the living room is picked up and vacuumed and all that. There he is, and all that kind of stuff. Say hi.
Hi.
He's a man of few words today. I am actually going to start thawing some chicken because we have church tonight. I hate having to resort to fast food or something. So because it's Wednesday night, that means we have small group at church, but also on top of that, before that we have dance. So there's not really time to come home and make dinner. So I'm just gonna put something in the crock pot. I think I'm gonna make like a, I don't know, some kind of chicken soup. I just usually goofball. I just usually kind of wing it sometimes. So I'm gonna make some kind of chicken soup for dinner tonight. I might make like a white chicken chili or something. I'm not sure. And then that way John can just bring the crock pot of soup with him to church and we can eat there, because we usually have like a fellowship time before we start our small group. So I just need to thaw this out so that I can get that going here in a little while, and then it'll be ready by the time we need it this evening.
I'm so hungry.
You're always hungry. This is our little hungry girl.
Mommy, can
Yeah?
I have the salmon chips?
We're getting ready to have lunchy.
Okay.
Okay. It's almost 11:30, so this will take a while, but I like to get these root blend vegetables that are frozen, and then I just put them on a baking pan on some parchment paper so it doesn't stick, and just drizzle it with olive oil and then salt, pepper, and rosemary. And then once it gets towards the end of these cooking, well, pretty much when they're done, then what I do is I just crack a few eggs on top and then pop it back in the oven until the eggs are like cooked. As my kids call them when they're poppy eggs. But anyway, and I love that so much. So I think that's what I'm gonna actually have for my lunch today. I didn't have breakfast this morning because I was actually fasting this morning. So anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. So this is my mama lunch, my yolk pot. It's still delicious. And then the bread is done, and it didn't turn out as pretty as what it normally does, but it's so good. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna eat my lunch. Change of plans with what we're gonna have for dinner. So I have some vegetables that really need to be used up right now. So I think what I'm actually gonna do is make a chicken stir fry and then make some rice. And then that's something that can easily just pop into the fridge, and then John can bring tonight, like just warm up before tonight. So I'm just going to do that because that's a really quick meal and it makes good use of vegetables and things like that. So I'll kind of show you just like a basic, this is something that we eat quite a bit. We really like it. Sometimes we will use the ramen, but I'm not going to be using that tonight because those noodles tend to stick if you don't eat them immediately. So I'm just going to be doing some basmati rice and just in the Instant Pot. And then this I will just stir fry right here on the stovetop in an iron skillet. And like I said, I'll just take you along. It's really simple ingredients. So what I use instead of soy sauce, we try not to use a lot of soy. And so I get this from Trader Joe's. This is the best price I've ever seen on coconut aminos. But it is very similar to soy sauce. It's got a little bit sweet, a little bit of sweetness to it, but not much. So I just use this and then a little bit of sriracha, which I also get from Trader Joe's. And then just like a tablespoon of either brown sugar or coconut sugar, because coconut sugar is a good substitute for brown sugar. So it's just a mixture of those three things, and I'll just show you how I mix it together. If you're worried about the spice of the sriracha, if you only use a little bit and do mostly the coconut aminos, then it is not spicy. Like, it will not make your children's mouths on fire or anything. So I'll just show you how I do everything and the ratios of stuff. I mainly eyeball it, but I'll kind of walk you through it. Okay, so I'm gonna get our rice started in the Instant Pot. I'm just using this basmati rice that I get from Azure Standard. And so I'm just gonna do 2 cups of rice and then 2 cups of water. And while this is going, I've already got my chicken going. I just did salt and pepper, and it's cooking in some olive oil. And then I cut up a bunch of broccoli and a giant leek. if you're not familiar with leeks, I love them. They're like a really, really mild green onion, and they're just gigantic. And they stir fry really well. They're really, really good in stir fries. So I'm gonna get this started. I'm gonna put 2 cups of water in here, and then I'm gonna put it on manual, like I'm gonna lock the seal, and put it on manual for 6 minutes, and then let it slow release for 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna try to measure this for you guys. Also, I'm a little concerned because my Instant Pot is sealed. However, it's not counting down yet. So I'm gonna be watching that really close to make sure it doesn't overcook my rice. That's kind of weird. Never had that issue. So I am going to put a tablespoon of coconut sugar in here. I actually think I might do 2 because I'm doubling this. I don't know. I don't ever do ratios, you guys, with this kind of thing. Let's see. Let's do... Oh, good. It's counting down now. I just saw my Instant Pot change over. Okay, so I'm going to do, I don't even know, maybe 8 tablespoons. I'm going to eyeball it here, okay? I'm terrible at giving ratios. Maybe it's more like 4 tablespoons, like 2 tablespoons versus 1 tablespoon. So this will be my 4th one. Yeah, we'll go with that. That sounds right. Let's just do that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am also going to do the same thing with sriracha. Now, we like a little bit of spice here. So if I'm doubling this, I'll put a little extra. Because my kids actually like just a little bit. So it's okay if it ends up being a little bit spicy. And then I'm just going to like stir it with a fork, since it's got the coconut sugar on the bottom. And then this is just going to go in the sink, so I'm actually going to taste it to see if the ratios are right. Yeah, that's a little bit spicy, so just beware. Maybe you don't want to put that much. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all of this sauce right here, and I'm going to pour it over the top of what's in my skillet, which... this is almost done because we don't like our vegetables like super soggy. We like them to have a little bit of crunch in them, especially if this is going to be reheated. So the sauce is in here now, so I'm just going to toss everything. I'm just going to toss everything in this sauce. I think I actually could have like tripled it actually, since there's so many vegetables in this time and so much chicken. I only used 3 chicken breasts, but as you can see, it makes a lot of food when you add in 2 broccoli crowns and then a big leek. So I'm just gonna let that kind of simmer in there. And I don't thicken the sauce or anything like that. I know some recipes call for like cornstarch to thicken it and stuff. This is not something I've ever found that I needed to thicken. So, yeah, so that is just going to sit in here and simmer for just a second. I'm actually going to turn it down, and then the rice should be done here in about, well, now it says 4 minutes left, and then it's got a 10-minute release, so in 14 minutes the rice will be done. And I'll just let everything cool and then put it in a big bowl for tonight, mix it all together in the big bowl. So this is just a really simple recipe, and like I said, really truly, this is something that like doesn't take a lot of time, but it's really good, and it's something that we like to throw together pretty quickly, and it's really versatile. You can add whatever vegetables you have, peppers, onions, whatever you want to this. Snap peas are really good in this. So just whatever you have. If you need to clean out your fridge, make a stir fry. So this is done, and the rice is on the bottom. I'm just gonna put the lid on and then just clean up. I'll put this in the fridge, and John just has to heat it up. In my last video, I think I talked about how I was behind on laundry in my last day in life. And we're still not all the way caught up. So that's fun. So that's what I'm just doing now, is just folding and putting away some things. So after I finish with this, it'll be time to start getting my girls ready for dance. So we'll have to leave here pretty soon for dance class. And yeah, that's just kind of how my Wednesdays go. Yeah, baby, what you need?
What about my ballet class?
I said girls. That means more than one, right? So that includes you. That was Lily. So Sophia does dance 2 days a week, and Lily does dance once. Yeah, so tonight just happens to be the night that both of them do their dance. So I am going to get this stuff folded and put away. And with that said, I am gonna sign off. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you all are doing well, and I hope to see you all on future videos. Thanks so much, guys, and have a blessed day.